5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
Can't see me, but you can feel me, can't you? That's right.
Hey! Happy
baby.
Friday!
Happy Friday to you, man. You are pumping through like rock solid. I don't know why. Last week I couldn't hear you. Now you're ripping my head off, which is great.
I made some improvements in the studio, like I was telling you about.
I can definitely hear it. I'm like, wow, we're rocking and rolling.
That's what's up.
I think our poor guest has disappeared. Let's see. We've got... Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Rick. How are you, buddy? What's happening, Rick? Good morning. And welcome to Live with Neve. Mandy and I are waiting for our guest, Dave Look. Yes. We had a little technical fuckery this morning, which happened. For all of you who are wondering, I'm just going to tell you, grab the popcorn. I am on pain medication. My jaw is swollen and sore as hell, but better than it was yesterday. And I'm sorry, people, but I'm still kind of drooling, so... It's going to be quite a show. I've never really been a drooler, but it's happening today. So I've got my napkin ready. I got to tell you, man, it's hell growing old. So here's this. First off, last week was killer. I go to Florida, got to see my old producer, engineer friend. I got to see an old dear friend who's also a musician. Just like had the best time. Saw my family, my kids, really a good time, and had lots of fun. Supposed to be going to Los Angeles this week. We will see. I'll know Monday at the latest. I have to make the call. I don't want to go out there like this. I've also for the medical update. Yeah, Rick popped me, man. He's a black belt. He really knocked the shit out of me too. The Hasidic hitman just popped me one, and it's uncomfortable to say the least. And I don't really feel like I'm talking well because I'm kind of numb and drooly. All right, so all kinds of stuff going on in the world. Is any of it important to us? I don't know. Some people, they sit all day and they're glued to the news channel. They could be right, they could be left, they could be fucking in between, they could have their head up their ass. You have no idea.
Yeah, you don't know.
But they're out there and they're all disgruntled and everybody's upset. Let me tell you something. First off, I'm not upset about anything. Remember, people, the world's going to do what the world's going to do.
That's the truth.
I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Yep.
I ain't got any controls other than, occasionally I might have a neighbor that might get upset at my show or the content. They might get pissy about it, but, I don't really care.
Yeah,
Everybody's
exactly.
got a bad day. And
yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking here. Let us see. Stabbing of the Cash App creator in San Francisco. That's kind of weird. Cash App, which is sort of like PayPal.
Yeah.
This guy also started, I believe he started PayPal or one of the founders. At any rate, he was just out cruising around San Francisco and some goob came up and stabbed him to death, which just brings me to the point that, I'm sorry guys, whatever political party you're in, you're failing in California. Both sides fuck that state up beyond repair.
Yeah, seriously.
And it's just awful. I mean, they've got it a mess. And I'm not a political guy, man. I just can't stand any of these assholes because we punt the ball back and forth, but ultimately in the end, we're all getting punched in the shit.
Yeah, exactly. And, we're all on the same team of no one gives a shit.
I kind of call it the, what is it called? The mega party. It's like, I forget who said it. A wise man once said, do you think they would let us vote if it mattered? I believe it was the guy, Samuel Clemens. The truth is, he kind of hit the nail on the head once in a while.
Yeah.
So, let's see. We've got the Biden administration says teams may bar trans athletes from competitive teams. I think they're getting it right. You can't have a big guy, a big mook of a dude on a team full of young ladies,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
whipping the hell out of them. It's just not fair to the girls. And in my opinion, guys, if you're such a loser you can't win at sports, I don't care what you call yourself. If you're going to go out and play with a bunch of people who, because of their body size, strength, and performance, if you think that I'm some kind of an evil person for thinking that, well, go fuck yourself, okay? I mean, I hate to say it, but I can't put it any more simply than that.
just
I don't
fuck
have anything
yourself,
against what people do. I really don't. Go have fun. It's Friday. I hope you get dressed up. And I hope you get hammered like chop meat tonight. I don't care what you do. I love you, man. I really do. I love everybody. But don't tell me a 300-pound dude who's been bulking up for his whole lifetime. He's 19 years old and he wants to go swim with the girls. I'm sorry. No, you're not. It's not. I'm sorry. I'm not a mean guy. If you're an adult, you can do whatever you want with anybody anytime. But, if you're an athlete, you got to have, it's just basic fairness. I know,
Well, they do that in like boxing and wrestling. There's like weight, like like what do they call like? I don't know much, but it's like categories or what is that?
Yeah, even take like a lightweight or a middleweight or a welterweight.
Yeah.
Any one of those. First off, guys, we know if we go out and we pick with a welterweight, or if say I go up to Rick Davis and I pop him in the face, well, probably it's not going to happen because he'd probably put me in some Krav Maga hold and I'd be screaming like a baby girl. Guaranteed. I mean, I know I can protect myself. I've been in a fight, had my head kicked in a few times. Once, I know this, 2 people at a time, I might have a chance to survive because I've done it. But 3, let me tell you something, when you got that third guy behind you beating the shit out of you, it's hard to win. And it's the same thing when you're in sports. I mean, I can't see some big thug of a guy. It would be like me fighting a woman. I'm sure there's women who could beat the crap out of me too, don't get me wrong. I just don't think. In fact, I've met him. My ex-wife is a black belt.
I was gonna say, wait, don't you know some of them already?
Yeah, I was married to one, and like she could kick my ass. One of those roundhouse kicks, I'd be all over. On the other hand, if I really was angry and decided to go full psycho and treat her like I would treat a guy who was coming after me, it might be different, black belt or not. And I just say that because I was taught you don't beat up your girlfriend,
Yeah, exactly.
My mom would shoot me in the leg, in the kneecap, so I'd remember it the rest of my life. That's where I was raised.
Good mama.
Any rate, I'm sitting here looking at the news, so I think that's a good news thing. And I think it's just being reasonable for everybody out there. If you think I'm a jerk, it's okay. I'm going to sleep tonight, fine. I have no problem. But, I don't hate on anybody, and I don't want to see people hating on people. So don't be unreasonable. If you're out there and you want to get sympathy and you want people to empathize with you, don't be a schmuck. Be a nice person. Be cool to them. Nobody gives a crap what you do. I mean, and if you're an athlete, male or woman, compete in your division. If you... I just don't know, because everybody gets so crazy. You can't even have a conversation without somebody losing their mind over it's just like common sense. It's not common. So here we go. In other fun news, the Filipinos are nailing themselves to the cross once again. They do this every year. They go out, they get on the cross, and they stand it up, and they nail themselves to it, which is just, I don't know, man. I'm not digging the whole nail through my feet and my hands, dislocate my shoulders just for Easter. I'm sorry, but I'll get some eggs.
They're thinking about what would Jesus do,
Well, Jesus would say, get me off the fucking... Has anybody got a crowbar? I mean, you're sitting there, it's like, hey, you, come here. You with the face, come over here. Will you get me off this fucking cross? Jesus Christ. I wonder if he said that. Jesus Christ. And he went, I'm sorry, Father, Now here I am. I'm getting people upset already. I don't know where our other guests. Let me see what we can check on the guest hotline. Let's call up Dave Look and see if we can get through to him. I love doing these things live.
Oh yeah, you never know what you're gonna get.
I know, he was there waiting for us peacefully, and then that technical fuckery rose.
Oh, did he get the new
I sent him the new address.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get him on the bat phone. Yowie, while you wait for the other guest, a random question. Go ahead, Yowie. Lay it on me.
Yowie has
Dave?
a random question for us.
Is that you, Dave? Hey, buddy. I sent you a new link to the... we had to set up a new room. We were having some technical difficulties. So if you go into your messenger, click, you'll be in the new room, and Mandy and I are just sitting here waiting, talking about you and saying all kinds of great things behind your back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's what's up.
I don't think he hears me. Hi, Dave. Can you hear me? No, he can't. No, he should. Mic's on. Ah, well. Dave, can you hear me? Just nod your head. Click the link. I sent you another link into your messenger. Click on it, and it'll bring you right here into the show with us. See? Say, hi, Mandy.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Hey, Dave. So, all right, mate. I sent you a messenger. So click on the link. You have a brand new one, and I'll see you in a minute. He's gone, so I am going to. All right.
Hopefully I'm there.
Hey, Dave.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there, brother.
All right, I'll see you in a minute, man. I'm out of here.
I'm hitting what I think is the correct link.
Yep. I just clipped him off. He'll either pop in or he won't. 3 random things I should do tomorrow. Let's see. Make breakfast. Eat a healthy breakfast.
Wash your undercarriage.
Wash your ass, as Red Fox would say. All problems start at the beginning of the day. You got to get up, wash your ass, have some breakfast. The other thing, make love to your partner if you've got one.
That is true. People need to do that. People don't take enough time to do that.
No, I mean, like,
and it's
what
dumb.
do you want to jump out of bed on a Saturday morning? The way I look at it, if I'm not getting laid Saturday and Sunday morning or evening or daytime, man, this is wrong. Yeah, it's just like it's life in the fast lane. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yowie, are you 18 years old? Because you're asking me random things I should do. Sometimes that's age dependent, unless you're like me. I was sent here from a planet far beyond the sun, like 1,000 years ago, and it's sort of like a vampire thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't preclude me from getting a fucking root canal. It's driving me nuts while I talk to you. So I gave you a couple. You're 27. Tell me, Yowie, what brought you to my fair program? How did you find us? Are you a fan of Dave Look? Dave, I see you. You're sitting in the dressing room, man. We're all good. We're going to bring you on. Sorry for the tomfoolery and fuckery at the top, but I think it's probably the pain meds. I'm going to use that as an excuse.
Yeah, it's
Whatever
pain
goes
meds.
wrong, aside from drooling, it's going to be a really great show. So, something that's interesting, Mandy, today is the 4th anniversary of this wonderful show starting.
That is bananas.
4 years ago, my girlfriend looked at me in bed on a Sunday, and she said, "You need to get a job. You're going nuts. You're bored. You're fucking cranky."
Yeah.
I looked at her. I'm like, what can I do? I don't want to work. I just want to bang on my drum all day. She's just looking for some good content to watch while I drink. You must be over in She must be in the UK or somewhere. Is that where you're from, Yowie?
Nice.
I'm guessing just because I know it's a little later over there right now. It's about 4 o'clock, and I don't know, depending on where you're at. I don't drink anymore, but, when I did, there's no time like drinking in the morning, That's the best way to go. Get up and have a couple. Australia. All right. We got so many fans in Australia. Really glad to have you, We usually have... Field
trip!
Yes. We're definitely going to make it to Australia, and that is going to be really cool. Well, we were glad to have you. You're here 27 years old. I'm here to show you how to age gracefully. Act your age. They tell me that all the time. I was in Florida. My mom, I swear, she was running around behind me with the scissors.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in the Big Lebowski with the scissors coming after me.
That's hilarious.
She's just like, Ma, are you gonna get your, you gonna get your hair cut done, son? No, probably not.
No.
I don't know. I've hemmed and hawed. I've got some business I have a business interest I'm working on, and I thought for a minute, I'd go ahead and cut my hair, look like I used to look, have the GQ haircut or whatever. You know what? Somebody out there, good morning, Gina. If you don't want to buy something from me, don't buy it. I don't care. So one thing, let's talk for a minute about sales. Everybody hates salespeople, right? Including salespeople. And I've been one my whole life, selling my band. What's the agenda for today's show? Well, as you've never been a guest here, you will have to realize that this is live freeform NPR. It's Neve Public Radio, excuse me. So if any of you people over there at NPR, the ersatz NPR, the one that they take money out of our paycheck to propagandize you. And occasionally they do get a great show, don't get me wrong. But they piss me off because, number one, everybody pays for it. Okay, we all get it taken out of our tax. NPR gets billions of dollars given to them by all the major corporations, the Annenberg Foundation, all of these curiously left-leaning organizations. But the thing about it is, I don't care, man. You know, politics is the same thing. If smart people could sit down from either party, I'm like a sales guy, man. I want to close the deal. I want to get everybody to sit down, shut up, and make a deal that's fair to both sides. It's just what it's all about. Instead of if you automatically assume that everybody who votes different than you then is complete psycho, like the press maintains that there's crazy people on the right, there's crazy people on the left. Well, they're right. But that doesn't mean you have to hate on everybody who doesn't disagree with you. You guys grow up. This is America. We've had 200 years to fuck things up pretty good, and we're well on our way. But it's still our country, man. You know, show me a place people freaking run to get it to. Anywhere else in the world. Do you see a bunch of people airdailing their ass over to Moscow right now? Has anybody, like, you wake up this morning, did you say, I just decided I need a Latvian man. I'm going to move to Latvia and marry a Latvian. If you did, I'd maybe be your best man or something. But I got to check him out first, you know? You're part of the family now, so this guy's
no, I'm not going into Marriedville ever again.
Yeah.
I think I might be a single for life person. I think so.
You know, I'll tell you, being single for life doesn't preclude having a great partner in life.
That's true.
You know, just somebody to fucking have fun with. And
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
That's wake you up on Sunday morning, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We all need a little friction once in a while. But so getting back to my agenda for the show, Yowie, we have an excellent guitar musician. This guy came on the show about a year ago, maybe not even that far. I get people, if you wondered, you're a new guest, Yowie, I go through and listen to about 100 bands a day, at least 3 minutes of them, of each band. Sometimes it's 15 seconds. Sometimes, I hate to say it, but it's so bad in the first opening vocal, I just go, I can't.
Well, it happens,
if
you know.
It's flat and it's terrible,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
sorry for him because I'm not in the business of pissing on people's dreams, you know?
No.
We've all been at the beginning of a career. I've been in a band
Yeah.
that sucked. I was like 10 years old and had shit thrown at us, and I felt terrible. And in my whole career, I started playing at 8, professionally making money around that time, which was weird, but that was my life.
Yeah.
And I don't know, most musicians, they have a little bit of crazy if they're any good.
Right.
They have
fact.
that uniqueness. The thing about
Yeah.
Dave is, I can't really categorize him because it's just good fucking rock and roll.
Nice.
I mean, I like the guy. So for our new guests from Australia, Yowie, let's ask you, Yowie, do you have a significant other or a significant something? Pet rock? I don't know, the origami Tyrannosaurus Rex, maybe? You know, these are things that I have in my space here. I also have magnets I can throw at musicians when they're not listening or reading the music. I can throw a magnet at their stand and it wakes them up. Oh!
Yeah, that was snappy.
I learned that because when I was in shop class as a young man, we had a horrible teacher, man, guy, Mr. Bullock. He was up at this, he was trying to teach us how to become draftsmen, mechanical engineers, and he had a magnet that was like a brick. We had those big metal desks they had back in the 70s. And if you were goofing off or trying to look at the girl in the back thinking about Sunday morning, you would all of a sudden get a big bang of this thing, like a brick hitting the side of your table. Well, I never had it thrown at me, which is amazing because I was always drawing drum sets and lug designs instead of shit I was supposed to be working on. He'd come over and he's like, "What are you making?" "I'm making a drum lug." He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, I don't have time to explain it to you right now, but trust me, it's a good one. And it was an awful class, though. I have to tell you, people who teach that way. Your teacher, do you ever throw objects at your students?
No.
So.
It's funny, like, you know, like the kids listen to me, like, for, you know, even from in the old days, I'm still in contact with like my students, but music is different, you know, because it's like when you're a music teacher, like sometimes you have like the same students and it's like you see them go into being professionals and you know, it's like all sorts of like cool stuff, you know, so it's a different dynamic. But hell no, I didn't have to throw anything. I would give them the evil eye. That's all they needed was the look. They're like, oh shit, she gave us the look.
Well,
it's the
you know,
look.
you kind of got some of that Irish blood in you, and I've got Italian and some Irish and God knows what
Yeah.
else. I'm actually going to get my DNA done to find out where I come from. Who my people are.
Nice. Find
You
out
know-
your home planet.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been told it's like on the other side of Saturn. You got to take a left at the Crystal Burger, and you'll be there.
Nice.
I
We're
don't know.
neighbors.
There's also a portal down in New York in the basement of a diner. If you go there and you get off the planet in a hurry, it's like Men in Black.
I didn't even hear about that. I'm bummed out. I'm on it.
Listen, we're gonna go to Australia. We'll hop in the teleporter. We'll go down there. We're gonna hang with Yowie.
what's
Yowie,
up.
as far as music, we both play multiple instruments. Mandy can
Yeah.
play all kinds of shit because she's a music teacher. And I can play all kinds of shit because I'm just a freak of nature and I like
Yeah.
banging on shit and making noise.
Yeah, but if you want to check out my band, it's Twisted Ginger. Yeah,
Yes.
Twisted Ginger. It's right. It's like you just type it in. Actually, you Google it. We'll come up. TwistedGingerBands.com. You know.
And
But-
this girl can sing, man. She'll peel paint off the freaking ceiling. I've listened to her and I go, yeah, I like that.
Thanks.
It's a good thing, and I don't think I have to tell you too often to get on note, man. You got it. See, unlike me, she is a professionally trained musician. I am a professionally trained musician and game show host, along with lion taming on my weekend when I'm not in the sack trying to get my girlfriend to wake up. As far as my instrument, I get the most enjoyment from singing and playing drums at the same time and beating the shit out of my drum kit.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
is, to me, that is like my life.
Yeah.
I also like a lot of synthesizers. I can kind of half-ass it on bass. Nothing to knock on you bass players out there, but it's so easy. Even a fucking drummer can do it. So I don't mean to
Yeah.
offend anybody who's a bass player. They're all equal except for like Jaco Pastorius or Geddy, the guy from Rush, Geddy.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
kind of a good player. But for
yeah,
me,
but-
anything that you can bang on. I mean, I've got all kinds of, like right here I have a antique Chinese drum. I'm going to do a little imitation. Tell me who this is. That's
Is that
Yoko
Tarzan?
Ono. That's Yoko Ono.
That wasn't
Doing
Tarzan.
Tarzan. Yeah, what kind of Tarzan are you? I didn't know where it was coming from at all. I was just kind of goofing off here. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah. No,
All
for,
right,
for me,
people.
it's definitely singing, though, too. That's like when Sonic becomes supersonic, you know? Especially
Do you
for
use
soft...
earbuds?
No.
Okay.
You know?
I found when I got them that my band all went, thank you.
That's like we have like, you know, our list, our wish list of things in the future.
Right.
Like we just got a nice like sound system so we could record right from it. It's gonna be like nice and streamlined. Ooh, tasty.
Nice. Well, I love technology, and as far as genres of music, you're always interested. Tell you what, we're going to answer that question. We're going to take a break, and we're going to bring on Dave Look, because I got to tell you, this album is excellent, and we're just going to talk shit about music and have some fun with this guy. He's the real deal, and I'm just queuing up. We have to have a brand-specific moment. We've got people who pay us good money, and if you're in a band and you want to pay us good money, we'll treat you very well. In fact, you will find that my advertising rates really do kick ass. And if you're a band that works, if you can't afford my rights, you really can't afford to be in a band, because it's like I spent more on broken sticks when I'm working than I would on an ad for the band at what I charge. It's not like I'm going to pay off my Stanford law degree. You know, it's probably not going to help too much. You know, it's only about $80,000 a year. So we're going to be right back. I'm going to play you one of my artists here.
Nice.
I can find his spot. This cat, Carlton Wilkinson, like you, is a Rutgers music professor, and he is a badass. This guy can play
Nice.
all kinds of things. He's got a harpsichord. The first time I went over to hang with him, we got a cup of coffee, went to his house, and then we just sat around yakking music for like 2 hours. He's playing me Bach concertos from memory. Quite a bright boy. And this is, if you guys are out there, check out his record. I'm going to play you a couple of clips from it, and we'll be right back with Dave Look.
There's some changes headed, like the Gulf Stream rising, like some gale that's been blowing off this wild bird island. can't say where, and I don't know when, but some old door's been opened in the restless shade. Poor man sagging cigarettes takes the subway home. Rich man folding old regrets steps on a rundown below.
Hey there, it's Kevin Sorbo here, and you lucky people, you are live. You're live with Nev or Neve or Nevi. I don't know. I can't say the dude's name. Anyway, you're on live with him, so I don't know. I guess that's a pretty good thing.
Like a melting flake of snow this year, I won't be sad to see it go.
Hi, I'm Darren F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neve.
I would have said it couldn't happen here.
Hi, I'm trumpeter Greg Adams, and I'm live with Neve.
Hey guys, my name's Eli Alger, and I'm here on Live with Neve.
Hi, I'm Neve, and I'm live with Dave Look and Mandy.
Hey,
Welcome to the
I'm
Dave
Mandy.
Look and
Hi.
Mandy show. All right, everybody, listen. I'm not kidding you guys. Really want to check this out. I've got some music queued up. You're gonna like this guy. I tell you, I get a lot of people through, and every once in a while, I get this glimmer of what can be when people really work hard and they work together. And this guy's the real deal. I hate to say it, but all of you musicians out there, remember, know yourself, know where you stand in the game, learn from everybody you possibly can. Take any gig you can get, and learn, and you'll do better in music. This guy's obviously listened and learned. It's hard enough to write one good song. This album's got a bunch of cool stuff, and you know me, I don't just kick people's ass.
Yes.
I mean, he's got good shit. There's not really a weak out. I haven't heard every cut on the record, but I haven't heard a weak one yet. And I listened last night. In fact, I picked his title song to play. I'm sending a message to you, Rick. Tell us in the comments who is Joe Masello. I don't know him either. But anyhow, we're going to go ahead and bring on Mr. Dave Look. You got the look. You took a whole hour just to make up your face, baby. Ugly lights, closing time. Everybody's projecting. Oh, man, you know what? I got to tell you, I love Prince. I miss him. How you doing, Dave?
Hey, Dave.
Can you hear us? He's laughing. He can definitely hear us.
Hey, everybody. I love Prince too, man. I miss that guy. I miss Prince too.
Yeah.
Man, you know, that to me was
you can't hear me?
I hear you now, but we have a
now
little
I
lag.
gotcha.
It's like you're far across the planet in Tierra del Fuego, but you're only in Georgia or wherever. Augusta, right?
We're good?
Are you in Augusta, Georgia? Is that right?
Yes, Augusta. We got the Masters in town right now. This place is so full of energy.
I bet. I bet.
I'm right up the street from the Masters, man. This place is full of energy.
All right.
Nice.
So are you getting?
We have 1 million people in town right now.
Wow. How many people usually live in town there? 800,000?
I don't know, a couple, 200,000, 200,000 or 300,000. But this is a larger draw than the Super Bowl.
Right on, man. I've always been a musician, so when I was in high school, until they realized I was a good musician and steal their girlfriend, the jocks used to hammer me all the time. I'd be like, "You hit me, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna not like what happens." I moved a lot, so I'm not a fighter by any means. I don't want to go start shit, but I'm also the kind of guy. I'm quiet, and then you push me. Don't be smacking me around. When I was a little kid, I was like, I'm a drummer. I beat shit for a living, man. You really don't want to start with me. And after a while, I became friends with the jocks because that's basically what would happen if you're a musician. People who wouldn't normally even look at you all of a sudden think you're the coolest thing since sliced bread, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
It's weird. I mean, no matter, I've seen it happen. I've seen some of the ugliest guys with no money who are musicians and have the hottest chick you'll see them with. It's like, is it the money? No. People have that creative spark, and people who like that creative spark are drawn to it. You know?
Yeah, it's an energy. It's like
it's that attitude that we want.
Yeah.
It's like even playing music. I don't know about you, Dave. Tell me about your band a little bit. I'm sitting here talking, but are you the demanding dictator like Prince, or like me, or are you the controlling Phil Spector type, or are you the concerned uncle like Tom Petty? I use all of those tactics depending on who the band is and what we're doing. But how about you? What do you guys do? Are you the dictator of discipline or what?
Well, you know, I'm from the same city as James Brown, and they called him the little tyrant. And I kind of maybe took a feather out of his hat.
Hey, good
I
for
run
you,
the show,
man.
You know, it's been a revolving door of musicians so far. I'm basically a solo artist. I've tried to, I've tried to solidify the lineup. It's tough to solidify the lineup, but I keep calling high quality artists. The last time we were on together, we had Rich Green with us from the Bullet Boys. He did some drum tracks for this record. And I love him, by the way. He did great. But, we keep moving forward with whoever we can get, and hopefully that lines will. Oh, thank you, man. Really, that's all Max Norman, man. I'll be honest with you, buddy. What I could provide the public with Max. I mean, it just really is the difference. I have to just take my hat off to Max Norman. He made it sound good, I don't know about this YouTube link. I noticed on the YouTube link that it sounded like a little bit of computer interference, maybe a touch here or there that's not really in that. But if we can get the pure tracks out, Max is a good guy, man. Interesting producer.
From the time I put your record on,
work with some of the biggest names of all time.
Well, you can definitely tell the sonic sheen. One thing I notice in a lot of bands on the up and coming level is they don't have the money, and I've been there, getting things mastered properly, and you'll find sometimes that the levels are a little off. And, I'm a Full Sail guy, which doesn't mean anything because a lot of people come out of Full Sail and they don't know anything, but there's a lot of people who go pay attention and know more than you think they know. And I've learned a lot from my teachers, watching people do things. How do you mic a guitar? I've learned some tricks that work, but having somebody on deck running your band, I'm just giving this advice not to people like, Dave's got it down. He's producing it with his producer, basically. But a lot of bands, you have this democracy thing going on. And if you have a band that you always have problems making a compromise to get something done, I don't like compromises in music. And that's why I try to say in a band, even myself, I would hire a producer to do me, to produce myself. Somebody who knows a lot more than I do. And there's tons of people who know, lots of people. Rick Davis, that is Mr. Dave Look. And I think the reason I asked you that question is I think most solo artists, like what you're doing, I think that's really the way it almost has to be to have a successful product in today's marketplace. Because you're competing against everybody out there. Breaking through the noise is incredibly hard. So, I mean, everybody who comes to New York and LA goes, what the hell? How many great players are around me? But, but you can't let it intimidate you if you're really hustling. Like this guy, he's in Augusta, Georgia, people. And no offense, but is your place other than James Brown known as a musical mecca around the world? Not really. I mean, you've got great musicians, like, I'm just saying it's not the place that people automatically think that's a music town. Correct me if I'm wrong. I may be.
Well, we did provide Essie Ray Norman, the jazz famous lady. We have or Essie McIntyre. I don't know. One of these super famous jazz ladies came from here too. But no, it's not known for rock bands. That's correct. this whole region's not known for rock bands. I mean, a few of them snuck out of Atlanta a few years, several, like a
There's a lot
generation
more
ago.
R&B
You had
and
Collective
rap.
Soul and a couple of bands
Right.
sneak out of Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Yeah.
you're doing the right
It's a
thing.
hip hop
I just-
mecca. Atlanta was, it's known
Absolutely.
for hip hop.
My daughter went to school there, and one night she called me to tell me she was in an elevator with Busta Rhymes.
I've just been lucky, man.
I told her, if you're in the elevator with him and you're on the phone, hand the phone
Oh
to him.
my goodness, that moody Jamaican.
Yeah.
So,
That's a
you're
moody
a Georgia
Jamaican.
boy, are
the
you?
weirdest
Were you
guy I
raised?
ever ran into in an elevator, my friend, was I raised what?
Have you ever? You were raised in Georgia, I'm assuming, in Augusta. Is this where you grew up?
I've been here since I was 17, so I guess you could say that. But I traveled around with the
you.
military before that with my family.
Oh, okay. I got it. We had similar.
Yeah, I got a little bit
life path.
little mind.
I moved a lot.
Hey, I got a story I want to add about y'all talking about Neil. When you
Yeah,
were
go
talking
ahead.
about school teachers earlier, I have one I'd like to add if we can.
Absolutely.
Check this out, man. First day of 7th grade, right? That's junior high in the county I was growing up in. So it's a big difference. You got a locker. You're going to different classes. It's a very, very overwhelming first day. So here we are, 7th
Sure.
grade. We're all in the big time now. And we end up in woodshop class. And I'm in woodshop class, and there's a bunch of girls too. It's not just, boys that are in that class. I don't even remember how you got classes back then. I think you signed up for them. So there's this guy though, Mr. Jacobs. He's introducing himself. He's a little edgy acting. You feel me? Like you said, a little bit. All artists are a little crazy. You threw that out earlier. So he's saying who he is or whatever. Welcome to the class. And he had a pocket knife, and he pulled his pocket knife out, opened the blade, and he looked all crazy. And I bet he'd go to jail for this today. But back in the day, he slammed it down into his leg as hard as he possibly could, right in front of all of us, and just made us all gasp in awe. Like
I'm getting like young Frankenstein
a little
vision here.
squeal noise or whatever, and then he got up laughing about it. Man,
Wow.
he got up laughing his butt off. He had such a wild sense of humor. He had been in Vietnam, had lost his leg, and had a
I was going to ask you if you had a wooden leg.
like a
That
thigh
was my
and everything. And he was a wood shop teacher.
Did he make his own leg?
He had a wooden leg, man, and he didn't care about putting a hole in his pants. He probably did that to every class that day.
Yeah.
That's probably been for
Wild, man.
years.
Just wild.
He's totally
Yeah.
freaked out
Growing
the
up.
class on the first day of school.
Yep.
Mandy, I recommend you try something similar with your students.
Oh yeah.
You got to do the young Frankenstein thing. Class dismissed. Oh,
shock and awe, man.
Wow. Yeah,
Straight
shop
shock and
teachers.
awe.
My favorite
now, thank you
teachers.
for enjoying the record, man. Record is great. Yeah.
Well, so did anybody ever introduce you to moonshine in Georgia?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Some good stuff down here.
It's one of the reasons I don't drink
anymore. That
anymore.
was real good. Yep.
I've had.
Yeah, I did a floor
my
job
share
for a
of
guy.
moonshine. Yeah.
Yeah, I sip only. I'm a sipper.
And so
Yeah.
he gave
you got to
some
be careful with
shine
that,
in
man. You get some
return.
bad shine, it'll kill you.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
the
it
that's
will.
a
Make
fact.
you sick.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to really.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
I
used to play in a. Go ahead.
Yep. Four bottles, man. It was a nice.
Well,
I gave one to my neighbor. He drank the whole thing and about fell down.
I have no doubt he fell down. I got to tell you, I have a whole long story I won't go into here because it'll show that I was having a youthful indiscretion at around 30. I just drank a lot too much
Well,
of that.
he never
and-
gets anything. He lives on a set income, and so.
Is that marijuana the legal product in the state of Georgia?
I'm trying to figure out how my face is on this marijuana bag.
I was wondering about that too. Me too.
Awesome. Show us
I was
again.
thinking
That's
the same thing. I
awesome.
was like, what the hell is he doing? He keeps putting something up over the camera.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
no, I don't
I
know.
want my face on one.
Just a face.
I want. You're so
Yeah, look
lucky.
at that. I got to get my own bag. My guy's
Oh, man.
lame. Everybody
Yeah.
needs their own.
Everyone needs their own bag. Otherwise, where do you keep it in?
Let me ask you: is Georgia getting? I lived in Georgia for a while when I played with that band.
Yeah.
And like I said, I got played all over with a bunch of real Southern gentlemen, and they saw me playing in a top 40 band with like a Simmons drum kit back in the 80s, and I had this. I was in a band that was like what do you call a contemporary pop. We played everything. We could play any goddamn song you threw at us real good. Had a girl singer, had a couple of guys singers, and we were working all the time. These guys see me and they offer me like a pretty good raise. I literally go out and buy a brand new drum set for their gig, a Premier kit that was beautiful. I drive up to Georgia after my last gig, get up there, I got a week of rehearsals, and I was so excited about my new drum set. It's like I got a Woody, man. I'm like, wow, I got this brand new kit. I'm gonna play it the first time with country guys. I don't know shit about country at this point. I've been playing my whole life. Country, I knew shit like Waylon, Willie. I know all the old country, but I'm not a big aficionado of the belt buckle polishing bullshit that they call country music these days. It's just lame. And any music can be good. I know good music. And I was driving in a rental car a few weeks ago, and I heard the most fucked up country song. I just couldn't. It made me sad. I was like, somewhere, like Willie Nelson's probably gonna hear this, and poor Willie's gonna want to do self-harm. I swear, it was so bad. It was terrible. Hey, we got Debbie from Australia. Deborah, we're gonna play some music from this cat, and you're gonna dig him. You gotta get his music down to Australia.
Nice.
I'm going to go ahead and we're going to blow through the commercial this break. Why I ran a few more last time. We're going to listen to some of your rock and roll, man. So everybody,
Nice.
I want you to give it up. This is one of my favorite places too. I have to tell you, I love Hollywood. And if my swelling in my mouth goes down, I'm not all.
Let's fire it up.
I'm going to be there next. I'll be there Tuesday or Wednesday. So for all my friends in LA, unless this thing doesn't get better, I'll see you Tuesday or Wednesday at NAMM, and I got some recording to do, which I'm going to make some noise, and that's always fun.
That's right.
But check this guy out, people. You're going to like it, and I'm not just telling you that. I know you're going to like it. In fact, we're going to play more than one. There we go. Just make sure we got that. Oh, where'd it go? Can you see me, guys? Can you see me? Hold on, people. Where'd I go? What the hell's happening?
We're getting sucked into the black hole.
I'm getting sucked into the abyss.
Yeah. It's that fucking teleporter again.
Yep, it's that damn... Am I in the room? Oh, shit. I think I'm back. There we go. Hi, people.
Hey.
So
you
sorry
back?
for the fuckery.
You see us now?
Yeah, things are better. Although I
Nice.
see two... Hold on. We got problems. I'm going to get this song to play in just about 10 minutes, right? There we go.
Beautiful.
Okay, I like it when things work the way they're supposed to. Changes you save, cancel. I don't want to go anywhere, man. I just want to play some rock and roll.
Yeah, seriously. Where's
We're
the rock
having
and
some
roll
weird,
button?
Weird stuff here. Bear with me, peeps. I'm sorry. It's all loaded up, and we just can't get it to roll. So I'm going to have to... First off, let's kill that. Let's just do this. Take that out. Oh, good. We're going to be fine. Just deal with me 1 second, people. Sorry, folks. Ah, man. Do you ever see people want to just scream because stuff doesn't work right? Jesus God Almighty. Here we go, peeps. I'm sorry.
That's
I really
all
am.
right.
We're going to get rolling here. Can you hear that?
Yep.
All right, everybody, we're listening to some Dave Look. We're kicking ass, man. Raised on Hollywood, baby. All right.
Nice. Hey, where'd everyone go? That was kick-ass, but I'm the only one here.
She should.
Oh, great.
You're
I was gonna say, are you
I was just, one of these days I'm just going to do that because it's like we're ready. Showtime's over, but I'm just going to get up and leave you there with the guest. And
Wait, didn't that happened before?
well,
and
it
I'm
has
just like,
happened once because we had a tech issue one time. And, you know, when I first started doing the show 4 years ago, I literally was holding a shitty iPad up to a shitty iPhone that I had at the time. And I had Warren Zevon's wife on the phone, and I was nervous as shit. It was my first interview ever, like, doing my own show. And I'm, like, stressing, and the tech wasn't working. And I ended up having to do the show by holding up my phone to the cell phone so she could see what was going on here. It was just a clusterfuck. But the one good thing that happened, I told her at the beginning, I said, I'm going to try and ask you a question you've never been asked. She goes, kind of snippy, she's like, well, after doing my book tour about Warren, you know, I think I've heard every question anybody could ask. She's a really nice lady. She didn't really come off that snarky, but enough that I was like kind of nervous anyway, so because I didn't know what I was doing at all. It was totally in over my head. My question for her was, I had to think about it. because I know people ask the same boring shit, you know. When did you get your first guitar? You know, did your uncle used to stoop you in the tool shed give it to you? Or where did it come from?
Yeah.
At any rate, I asked her, when you got your first when Warren got his cash advance from Asylum, I said, how did your life change? Like, that day, what happened that was different than the whole bunch of days before when you're making the first record, the second record?
Yeah.
Like, what did you do different? Some people would say, I went out and bought a fucking car. I went out and got myself a nice watch. Like this one, I got a nice watch, but it falls off my arm every time. It's the nicest watch on earth, and I really love it, but it's a pain in the ass. It's like, God, I hit my old raggedy-ass Timex that you can't wind up. I learned a long time ago that you can wind up your watch so tight it'll never fucking unwind again. And I did it to a very expensive watch. So drummers, pro tip, get a shitty little digital or something when you're at the gig. Whatever. At any rate, her answer to the question was, well, all of a sudden we could get takeout from any restaurant in LA delivered. And I said, that is a cool answer, because that was...
Yes!
I would dig that. I've already
Yeah.
done all my drinking and drugging. I mean, you know, for the most part. I like to smoke a little herb once in a while, but other than that, I'm a California sober guy. My world is my oyster, man. You know, I can eat any damn thing I want, and I have a good time. But all I can say is, you know, life's like, you get less injuries when you're sober, and you don't, you end up with like bad scars like this in your body and all kinds of fucked up shit that'll happen. But you know what? They tell me it was fun, so I think it was all worth it. People, if you're watching this show, seriously, get on YouTube, and I just want to make sure, I'm going to take a look to be sure I'm sending you to the right place. Raised on Hollywood, and it looks like Dave just goes by the name Look. Is that correct, Dave? Now I don't hear, oh, now I see, his mic is turned off. Oh, it's on, turned off on your end. Can't unmute your guest. Their mic isn't connected. What the fuck? Well, Dave, I can't unmute your guest. Their mic isn't connected. Okay, well, that's okay. Dave, while he's sitting here now, he can't even respond to me, so I can, say all kinds of terrible things about him, but I'm not gonna, man. This guy's record kicks ass.
Yep.
Dave, you're great, man.
Good shit.
You're maybe mute. Can you sign? This is the international sign for, I'd like to take you to dinner tonight. I'm sorry, that's terrible.
It is?
If I was to do sign language, the world would be a funnier place. Believe me. Give me a couple days down at the American Sign Language Academy. I could come up with all kinds of weird little things. Like I bother my kids with this thing. My granddaughter's like, get that Anubis away from me, Grandpa. I'm a dad, man. I love my kids to death. Now they're like 30 and 40 years old. They're 38 and 40, somewhere around there. But they're 2 years and 2 days apart, which is weird. Dave's going, what the fuck am I on the air hearing about this Goobs Kids for? At any rate, that's because live on Neil, we break trends all the time. He's back!
Oh, he's back!
Holy shit!
Yay!
That's a revelation from God, from Jesus. Hey, He's anointed thee with some heavy metal. We have changed the microphone's capacitance. Yes,
Excellent.
a miracle has occurred.
Nice.
It's on this,
Am I on
Easter
now?
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
back?
we can. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, nice to have you back.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
It's great because we're like
That
over
is
time,
really cool.
but who cares, Sometimes you got to just have some fun. And that's why I say we have no
Well,
rules
there's
on this
fashionably
show.
late, fashionably early. Yeah.
Yeah, rules,
Hey,
I like guidelines better.
Yeah,
Rules-
guidelines work.
Guidelines, if you're like a band leader too, works better than like me going into dictator mode, which I used to do when I was younger. I'd be like, my sound guy, I'd just tell him, it's gonna fucking be this way. I'm going inside. You better fucking figure it out. Slam the door. Fucking Ralph would be like, Neil, he's just fucking wired up. He's hot wired, man. The guy's he doesn't need any cocaine. He's fucking nuts. He's from Boston. He was also nuts. He's my engineer for like 40 years. And he worked with me. If I die, I'm terrified that he'll write the book because he knows where all the bodies are buried, man. It's going to be all over. He knows secrets. Man, Ralphie's out there right now. He's going, I got that shit logged. Tell you, here's a good Ralph story. I saw Chick Corea one time, and I noticed his engineer was recording a live record, and he was making notes on all the guys in the band on each take. So, being a Full Sail grad and all this, I think I know my shit more than anybody on the planet. I decide I'm going to give my man a number 2 pencil and a 11.5 by yellow pad, and he's going to start writing down what we do wrong. So at the end of the first set, I don't show it to anybody yet, but I go up to Ralph and I go, "Hey man, how did it go?" And he hands me this page. It's like 2 or 3 pages. Being a singing drummer, I took umbrage because he's like, "You're fucking off key in this song. You dropped the tempo here between the groove." I mean, he had this, and he's like, "The bass player, I think he's fucking A strings out of tune." And it's like, you ever seen Dodgeball? They hired this guy to train them. He throws wrenches, and his mantra was, "If you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a wrench." Yeah. And after you got hit with that wrench once or twice, you learn to dodge. Well, that's Ralph's persona, as I could only describe it when we were at a gig. He's a dedicated family man when he's not at the gig, but he becomes a complete antediluvian animal when he enters my world. And Kathy, nothing has ever happened, I promise you. He's been safe with Uncle Neil, don't worry. I'm a man of the cloth, I can handle things. It's all covered. And Dave's going, "You know, what am I doing on this show?"
No, I'm thinking too. I don't act like that because I've been so lucky. Well, my musicians have just been on Superpoint, man. I really don't have to. It's been magical for everybody. There really hasn't been any struggle at all amongst the creation of all the tracks, man. It's just been, you know.
You've got such. It's obvious you hired really great players because you can just tell because there is that synergy of a band that's played and knows what they're doing. When I talk about some of these stories, things that have gone on over the years, it's usually the bands that are the ones that just got a little bit of traction. Sometimes they can be like so full of themselves if they're young, and you know you kind of have to chuckle. I'm just like, that's okay, guys.
Yeah, cute kids. Yeah.
You know, I'll help you out. Your record will sound good. You know.
Well, there's a term. It's called youthful exuberance. Yeah, that's their youthful exuberance, man. You can't hardly fault them for it. You know, we were like that at some point. We weren't old and controlled and letting it go steady. You know, we used to bust it off hard.
You're absolutely right.
You know, I don't fault any musician. Yeah, I mean, ego does suck, man. But at the same time, I'd like to quote Sting from the Police. And, you know, years ago, I read an interview with Sting, and he said, "Look, all good artists are a little bit full of themselves. How else could you get them on stage and have them proclaim, 'Look at me'? You know, look at me." I mean, you have to have a little bit of gumption in that department. You know, I mean, you know, some guys play the line slow. You know, you've got some of these guys have no image and they don't. They just show up in the dark and whisper into the mic, and then other guys are doing backflips. I mean, it's just up to who
absolutely
are you,
right.
You know.
Yeah.
Well,
there really is no right and wrong in music, man.
I agree with you.
Amazing.
That experience, like you said, about youthful enthusiasm. I remember when I saw the Sting on his first tour of North America, and they jumped out of a van in a little club in Tampa and I was just like, God damn, this guy can sing. You know, I just blown away. But I didn't like Roxanne. That was the first single that came out after I saw them. And I remember it was on the radio. I really called it wrong. I'm like the guy who said the Beatles will never go anywhere. I'm listening to them. I'd seen them. They were kind of sloppy. And I was like, well, the bass player sings really fucking good, and they got some good songs. But then Roxanne busted as a single, and I was just like, I hated that song that night. Now I like it. With the passage of 40 years, I dig it. I mean, the Police were a great band. And I think what he said, Sting's got the most amazing... I once saw him talking about how him and his wife like make it for 24 hours. And the look I saw on Trudy's face was like if I did that to my girlfriend, she'd be like, "Get out! You talk to this on TV. What the fuck is wrong with you?" You know. And but he's Sting, man. You know, I remember listening to the interview. The take I got was like, not only is the guy really a handsome dude, he's got millions of bucks. He's married to Trudy Schuyler. His life is kicking, man. I got to get my game going on here, you know. Then he tells me he can make it for 24 hours. I don't even know if I want to make it for 24 hours. At least take some break for food or something, you know. But what do I know? Sting is best. So tell us, Gina, what would you like to know about our guitar player? I can give him the standard interview crap. Like, what inspired you to pick up the guitar?
Well, I'm a third generation guitar player myself, so it's in my DNA, man. I was forced into it. But, you know, honestly, man, you know, just when I heard Mick Mars on Shout at the Devil,
Right.
that was it for me. But,
No
you know,
shit.
I've heard rumors that wasn't Mick on that recording.
Probably Leland Sklar.
I have heard rumors that's not Mick.
Huh.
I heard it was another guy, man, that like a ghosted musician on that record. But, you know, the point being, when I heard Motley Crue Shout at the Devil, that was it for me. I started learning how to play the guitar.
When I first heard Motley Crue, I heard about them getting kicked off a plane going to Japan. And I was like, well, it's a good thing they got kicked off before they got over there, because the Japs don't play, man. You do not want to get arrested in Japan. They'll not only beat your ass, you'll be eating fish heads and shit for your whole time. And they frown on marijuana over there, unfortunately. But I don't know. I imagine there's still
You know,
a
my
bunch of
drummer, Rich
stoners in
Green's been to Japan.
Really?
Yeah, my drummer, Rich Green's been to Japan with the Bullet Boys, and he tells a completely different picture about Japan than what you just did.
Really?
He said the
This
promoter
is, you know,
met
I'm
them
thinking
at
about
the
people
airport
30
before
years
they
ago,
could-
so no shit.
Yeah.
So the promoters
Well,
hooked him up.
This
and
was back
life
in the
was
day,
good?
too, now.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah,
well,
they,
you know,
uh,
I guess if he was back in the day, the Bullet Boys, that's a long time ago, right? That was in the 80s. I don't know. I guess everybody goes and gets their own experience.
Early 90s. That was early 90s. Actually,
Right.
early 90s still.
That's a good.
For the
That
Bullet
was
Boys
a
at
good.
their peak. But anyhow,
That was a good period in rock and roll. There was a
the
lot of.
promoter
that-
picked him up. He had an escort assigned to each member of the band the moment they landed. When they got in the limo with the Japanese promoter, they were already like taken care of with concubines.
Gotcha.
That was cool.
That is cool. That doesn't happen every day, even in Bullet Boys. You got to admire the Japanese for
That's rock
their
and roll royalty
thoroughness.
stories there.
Oh, well, go ahead, man. We're getting into
And
this.
they love him,
Conversation.
man. I'm telling you, I need to blow up in Japan. But look, you know about the BMG shutdown, right? You're aware that I was rudely just shut down a couple of days ago at BMG Universal. It was by a Japanese lady, just for the record.
Yeah, you said
I
that
won't
she
drop her
just was
name,
like,
but
we just, that's cool. Will you tell me after we get off the air so I know to avoid her? Yeah, people.
she's one of the big fish over there, buddy. She's yeah.
She all she
Yep.
said was,
But now
we
she
passed.
took one whiff of well, she took one whiff of Raised on Hollywood, and she didn't even go 10, 12 seconds in, and she cut it off and didn't even listen to the other songs.
Yeah,
So,
that
you know,
happens. Those
to
people-
think that
yeah.
that one song defines look is ludicrous. Yeah, I'm nearly undefinable. If you go through this entire record, you will find facets cut into my diamond that just you don't normally see in anybody. I mean, I took a lot of chances here. I went a lot
I
of
think it's a
directions,
great
and I did
record.
it purposefully to almost. Well, I'm trying to defy categorization. It is rock and roll. That's what it is. Some of it's funk,
Right.
you know. Some of it's pop. You know, so you know, I just call it look.
You know what? It's
easy
good.
for me, man. Yeah.
I did not hear a weak song on the record yet, and I've listened to most of them. Today I'm going to listen to the rest because I liked them, and you're right. It has a very. It was hard to define. I was trying to tell Mandy, I think about it. I was like, well, it's some kind of good rock and roll, and I don't know exactly how to define it, but it's melodic, which I like because, you know, a lot of metal. I mean, all music's good and valid if it's done good, you know? Like, even the most. I've had a few people. I had a really savage heavy metal band on a couple of weeks ago. The one I did I did a whatever you call it. I played a news announcer and turned into the devil to introduce the song. And those guys are slamming, man. They just like a sledgehammer in the face. It's excellent. They were a really good band. To me, I'm more into the melodic vocals. I'm just an old school guy, man. Like I grew up on Led Zeppelin, and I like hearing, you know, really good guitar and kicking ass drums. I like to smack people in the face with a baseball bat, not a sledgehammer. It's just leaves less marks. At any rate, Thank you for being on the show.
I like to feel the holdback. I like to feel the holdback when you drop the power. Okay, there's nothing more advanced than when you drop the tidal wave, right? But you can hold it back as you drop it. I know that from being a drummer, man. There's nothing more powerful, and it's the silence in between the notes that defines all music as well. So it's just so many elements of being I don't know how to explain it, man. You either got it or you don't. It's one of them things in life, and I don't fault anybody out there working who don't have it. Keep doing you. You might
do
be
what you're trying to do,
yourself, or maybe some other people. Yeah,
and for a lot of
not
people, you know
everybody's
what,
cut
they're
out to
happy
come out
with
here
that.
publicly, man.
There's a lot of people who
I'm
think
on a
they want to
different
be
mission,
in it.
man.
Yeah. Well, I hope
and
we
when
can
they
help
get
you
a
in your
taste of it,
mission.
they would run from it.
Well,
Man,
once
these
somebody
people would
has
run
to tell
from
their
it, man.
girlfriend,
It's almost like walking up to facing the industry is almost like walking up and going toe to toe with a demon. I mean, it's terrifying in certain ways,
It
but
is
if you
terrifying.
can tame the demon, then I'm going to make the minions work for me before I'm done.
I've been in a room
I
where
really
they
appreciate
sat.
you having me on here.
It's crazy what those folks do. They had a picture of all these folks in a band, and they were like picking them apart. While I'm sitting there going, I'm thinking, how am I going to tell my guitar player and my bass player that these guys don't want them? They're going to they want us, two of us. I won't say any more than that.
They dehumanize the art. That's one of the things they do. They try to turn it into the word product. It's not really art. It's product to them. It's their job. It's their legacy as an A&R.
It's devoid of any
Look, I had an
emotion.
A&R legend tell me a long time ago, you can't. Yeah, I told her I had one of the greatest A&R people of all time. I'm pretty well connected. I communicate in big circles, man. And he told me, he said, look, as an A&R executive, you can't sign hits. You can only sign what you like. The key is you need to like hits.
Right.
You feel me? Did that make sense? That was a
Absolutely,
quote, you know what I'm
because
saying?
we all
a
know
dead
when you
legend,
hear a song.
And so,
Yeah.
if you like it or not, yeah. I mean, but A&R
There's
people are
some
fickle,
records
they're just.
Well, there's people out there who've passed on some of the greatest bands. It happens, A&R people. Frank Zappa used to say that the industry got a lot more sucky when the A&R guys got young and hip, because the old guys who used to make records and take chances, they'd sit and go, well, I don't know, Merv. What do you want to fucking do with it? I don't know. Let's put it out there. So they threw Frank Zappa out. And I have another friend out there who played in a band with Frank before he was famous. They got signed and sounded like it was Captain Beefheart and all the people in his band. Frank did a couple of guests on it, but it's the A&R guys of the old. It was different in their mind about product. They looked at it like, I don't really give a shit what the kids are buying as long as they buy it. They knew a hit when they'd hear it, though. It's like watching The Sopranos. The old guy Hesh, he'd go, I know what's not good, and I know what's good, and this is not so good. Talking about the guy's girlfriend producing that album, which they shot just down the street from here in Long Branch, and they had that god awful band. They were horrible, going meow. I was like, put the suck label on this before you put it out in the market. God almighty, that's fucking 3 hours too much. That season with Rancid Rock and Roll, we had to listen to that mix 4 times. I was ready to shoot somebody. I hate to say it, but if I'd have been there at that session and somebody was going, meow, I'm sorry, guys. I very rarely wield the thuggish club of authority, but this one's got to go. It's just not happening, But,
yeah.
Listen, I think you're going to do really great.
Yeah.
I think you're going to do great, man. You've got
Man,
a great
I
album.
hope so, Neil. I appreciate that.
Well, anytime you want to come on.
Taking a look at me right now, and yeah, cool. Tom's the Tout's looking at me right now. He's famous for signing Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue. He has my submission right now, and I'm waiting for him to get back.
Are you using an agent, or are you submitting it all yourself?
Man, I've been doing everything myself. I got a little bit of help from a big timer to get over to BMG, Kate Hyman. I'll give Kate a shout out because she just started up a consulting company, and Kate assisted me and sent me to BMG, where she worked for years and years. and recently retired from to do her own thing. So Kate, there's you a shout out to your company. Check out Kate Hyman's company. I didn't have to pay Kate. She did that as an angel favor for me. I'd like to also mention that when you said earlier, a lot of people don't have the money to make a record. Neil, I didn't have any money to make this record either, man. I just actually pulled strings and people did everything for free. This, what you're listening to is not a product of cash. It's a labor of love from every single person involved, except for Rich Green, who made a tiny bit of cash for his drum. Yeah, Rich made a sliver of cash for his drumming, not enough to even speak of, just enough to pay for sticks and skins. You feel me? I mean, seriously. No one got paid. Max Norman didn't get paid. He hasn't told me that I couldn't say that publicly. He did this as a labor of love, and I don't think he does that a whole lot. So, I hope the world gives us a chance, man, and thank you for helping spread the word.
Well, you got. All I can say is I know why those guys put their faith in you and did it for free. I mean that seriously, because I would help you for free too. If there's anything you need, you got a big show coming up, let me know. I'll throw you some ads out there. I'll help you any way I can. I mean that. I like your music, and if I like something, I like it. And you're a good guy, and
Man, thank you. You already have.
Anytime.
Bring him on
I look forward to talking
to
you more. We'll have to stay in touch just see what's going on behind the scenes. I want to keep an eye on what you're up to, and maybe we get you up here to New York. I mean, I think you'd go there. If we get you in the Stone Pony or somewhere, it would be really kick ass. I think you'd go over good.
Man, that sounds wonderful, man.
Mandy, I've got to get her some gigs down here just because her gigs are up in fucking North Jersey. And
I'd be very curious to hear what. Yeah, I'd be curious what that ginger lady right there thinks of my music when she gets a chance to.
Oh, it's good
Maybe
shit.
She can let me know
it's
behind
good
the scenes
shit.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's good shit. That's what's up.
Yeah,
I could tell she was jamming on it.
No, thank you for that. Yeah, well, I appreciate y'all having me, and anything I can do to help you guys as well, just let me know. I've got contacts all the way across the board. My Rolodex is your Rolodex.
Likewise, man. If you need anything, and if I can help you get,
and I don't say that to just anybody.
I don't either, brother. I have a feeling
neither do I.
You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good friends, man. I have a feeling we're gonna run into each other. I had a question earlier.
It's just a rumor that I'm an asshole.
I'd probably like you more because of that. Because I figure if at least you got a history of standing up for yourself. If people say I'm the biggest asshole in the world,
man,
or the
I'm
nicest
just
guy,
good.
That's it. People have to get out of the way sometimes. As you can tell, I'm a very calm individual.
It's get on.
I've been like this,
Yeah, but
you don't get anywhere.
I'm not evil to people, though, man. I love everybody, man.
That's right.
In this business, man, you get these people want to shine next to you. They want to stand next to you. They want to hang their name in the sky next to you. They make all these promises what they're going to do. They want to be near you, and none of them never provide. But yet they get the benefit of being in my glow space, and that's the one thing I guard against. Other than that, I'm not negative. I want everybody near me. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm like a black hole. I'm sucking in all the stars. For real. If you want to call me anything, you can call me the black hole. I'll be the black hole, man. But only because I want everybody kind of swirling around me. At the center of every galaxy is a black hole, man. If you know astronomy,
there you go, man.
That's reality. So
I want to be the first guy that goes in.
Yeah, the Milky Way's got one.
I want to go into one and see where we go.
I love you guys. I appreciate you.
All right, people. We're out of here. Mandy, hang around a minute. I'm going to get the...
I believe it's a wormhole.
It probably is a wormhole. That's what this show is when it disappears. All right, everybody. We'll see you at 4 o'clock today.
No!
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, Live with Neve.
I'm Neil from Live with Neve. We have an exciting connection for our veterans, country music fans, and there is something for everyone. Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. That's right, we've partnered with Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com.